Hey everyone, I am in. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Let's get it started. I'm about to get into this, girls. So I'm a grown woman out there. Wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. Can't wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. I want you to turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. I want you to turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. I want you to turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. I want you to turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. Ooh, I had another thought today, baby. Every time I close my eyes, get a glimpse of this candy paint. Don't slip up when it drip up on top. You really see it here. Lift it up and top of that. I know everything you want. I'ma show you how it's rolled. Shoot it. You want to don't stop for that. I'ma let you beat it bounce on that. I know everything you want. Give me that daddy long trouble. I can't wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. Can't wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. I want you to turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. I want you to turn that cherry out. Turn that cherry out. Cherry, Hello, 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 everyone. We are in here. So, yesterday I was supposed to come on and have this conversation with everyone. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to come on yesterday. I was in everyone else's live but my own. It was like everyone that I wanted to hear talk about this topic went live yesterday during the time I wanted to go live. So I was like, okay, we're going to try again tomorrow. So here we are. Tonight, I am having an open forum for everyone. Everyone is invited. I don't care what gender you are, what race you are, what country you're from. Everyone is invited. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat right now. In the meantime, I want to thank every single person that's right now on the broadcast. And I want you all to please hit the like button. Please subscribe and please comment, because tonight we're going to get into some things. So, as you all know, there has been an uproar on social media. And it's not just this week. This has been happening for a few years at this point. And as a Black woman, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. And I just want to talk about it. So here we go. There is someone on TikTok by the name of, her name is, it's a Blessing Rose. It's Blessings Rose. That is her name on TikTok. So she made a video about 2 years ago in the middle of the pandemic, because I'm the type of person I like to fact check. She made this video in the middle of the pandemic and it has now become viral. A lot of times that happens. Someone will make a video and no one talks about it, and then boom, out of nowhere, it can go viral. It can go viral the next day. Sometimes it might take years for it to go viral. But what I do know from this particular person's videos, because I took a look at on their TikTok, everything they do and say is controversial. I have noticed that about this particular individual. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, at this point, I really honestly think that they do it on purpose to get a rise out of people.
Everything about them, in my opinion, is trolling. Every single thing about them. So I'm actually going to pull up everybody's video. We're going to watch it all. We're going to break down. We're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about all of it, from T.S. Madison to Tasha K to Just Hilarious to It's a Blessings Rose to uh Just Hilarious, Flame Monroe. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to talk about it all. Okay, so It's the Blessings Rose. Let's go ahead and play their video so you can listen to it. I'm going to pull their video up. Hopefully, I can be able to show the full video in case you guys have not seen it yet. I'm pulling it up right now. I know earlier when I tried to pull up her video, she is a trans woman, so we're going to respect her as such. Her videos had been taken down, and sure enough, her videos have been taken down. Something told me that her videos were going to be taken down. I had a feeling. Yep, her videos have been taken down. Okay, so I was lucky enough to find her videos on Instagram. So I am actually just going to play the audio. I'm not able to actually play the video on YouTube because that video belongs to someone else. So I'm going to play the video on audio so you guys can be able to hear it.
When the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello? This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out. The audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello? This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out. The audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello?
Okay, so that is Miss It's Blessings Rose. And I was waiting. When I tell you I have been waiting for them to finally take this person's social media down, because all of the hate rhetoric in their social media is so disgusting. And I was actually planning on playing several of this individual's videos just so you could see where mentally where they were. So this video went viral. As you heard this trans woman say, periods in womanhood, the audacity of cis women thinking that they own periods in womanhood. The transphobia simply just jumps out. Then it was said that we experience periods in womanhood. Everyone's experience is different, and that we're gatekeeping it. Miss Blessing Rose, you're an idiot. How dare you? How dare you? The gall of you to even come on social media and say things like that with so much vitriol. And then it was the condescending little laugh and smirk. I wish there was a way that I could be able to show you what this person would look like in their their body language as they're talking. It's disgusting. And let me tell you why it's disgusting. Because why are we even having this conversation? Why are you, ma'am, having this conversation? Talking about an experience that you've never had. At the end of the day, you don't know what a cycle is like. You don't know what a menstrual cycle is like. You don't know what PMS is like. You don't know what it's like to go through fibroids and have that pain, and go through endometriosis, and go through ovarian cysts, and go through the heavy bleeding, and go through all of the pain and the cramping and everything else. Those are things that we don't just experience, we live it. Just like I would not dare ever attack you as being a trans woman, because I don't know what that experience is like to wake up in a body I do not feel comfortable in. I feel so uncomfortable in that body and feel like I have been born into the wrong body, to where I actually, in 99% of cases, trans women actually go out and sell their bodies just so that they can be able to get reassignment surgery. Not just reassignment surgery. They get their Adam's apple shaved. They get facial reconstruction done. They get breast augmentation. I don't know what that feels like, to wake up in a body that I don't understand why physically I look one way, but mentally I feel another way. But guess what? I'm not talking about that. And that's what a lot of trans people are not getting. We as Black women are not talking about your experience, or telling you, how dare you feel this way, or how dare you say this, or how dare you do this. We don't do that to y'all, but y'all are constantly doing that to us. We are feeling attacked, and it's not just this. And I'm going to talk about it all. We are constantly feeling attacked. And at any time, anyone that wants to come on is welcome to, because the link is there. But until then, I'm going to continue to talk about it. We are attacked all the time. This conversation literally came out of nowhere. And you know what bothered me so much? Out of this vast, huge trans community of women that I admire and respect, only 2 people out of all of the gay community, out of the entire trans community, only 2 people actually spoke out and said that what this person said was very triggering and was some BS. That was Flame Monroe and that was Funky Dineva. They were the only 2. Everybody else upheld the BS. That's what bothered me so. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us Black women are your allies. We are. We're the ones who are going out and purchasing the tickets. We're the ones that are in the seats to watch you all while you are on stage. We are the ones that are supporting your movies and supporting your music. We are the ones that are doing that. It's our dollars behind that. And to literally feel attacked and then to get cussed out because we're speaking out against something that offended us, we're offended. You cannot tell me how to just let something go that offends me. A person who's never experienced it is telling me how to experience it. The nerve of you. And you want to talk about transphobia. That's what gets me, because, you know, anytime you don't agree with something that someone from the community says, automatically we are labeled transphobic. We're not transphobic. We just don't agree with everything that you say. We're not the type to just roll down and sit down. And people are saying constantly to us, oh, just let it go. Why are we even arguing about this? Because it's offensive to us and we are constantly letting things go. I'm going to tell you about my own experience. I was best friends with someone in high school. Their name was Chauncey. They were in the process of transitioning. And this was during a time where, like this was like 2000s. So it was not mainstream. Honey, there was no T.S. Madison that was black, loud, and proud and trans. There was no polls on TV. There was no ballroom that's becoming mainstream, more and more and more and more mainstream. It was none of that. Being trans and being openly gay was taboo. I remember Chauncey would get picked on every single day in school. And I hated how she would have to defend herself. So here I am. Listen, back then I was the bully's bully. Even now I'm the bully's bully. You're not gonna bully nobody. You want to bully somebody, I'm gonna bully you. I'm gonna show you what it feels like. Well, here I am. I'm sticking up for Chauncey. It got to a point where they would pick on Chauncey so bad, they would actually put dog food in front of Chauncey's locker when we were in school. So they would pick on Chauncey. I'm starting to pick on the bullies that were bullying Chauncey. Like, I'm literally sticking it to them. Like, you must be jealous. Oh, you must want Chauncey for yourself. That's what it is. Oh, you mad because her hair longer than yours. Is that what it is? Like, I Jones on people. So while I was defending Chauncey, I started getting picked on. And Chauncey wasn't the only person with dog food at their locker. I had dog food at mine too. So, as much as people want to say that Black women are not allies to gay Black males or trans women, that's a lie. You have a lot of allies. And it hurts when a lot of us are your allies and you are attacking us and not validating how we feel about certain issues. And this is the thing. I heard someone else say, I believe that it was T.S. Madison that said we didn't create a space for trans women. No, we didn't create a space for trans women. No, trans women created their own space. And that's the difference. Because let me explain to you. There are perfect example. Let's talk about the pageant world, because I am a part of the pageant world. I was in pageants for over a decade. I am a pageant girl. Do you know how many pageants now? The rules have changed, and now trans women have to be allowed to apply to same-sex pageants as natural born women. But get this, trans women have their own sector when it comes to pageants. But that's not good enough. That's not good enough for you all to have your own sector of pageants. Now you also want to have your own sector of pageants that natural born women are not allowed to be in, but you also want to circumvent pageants that have been open to natural born women. Now, what sense does that make? But yet it's still, we wrong because we speak up against it. Same thing with athletics. Do you know how many natural born men that now all of a sudden they applied to be, they ran for the Olympics several times, could never, ever, 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 ever make the cut as a man in the Olympics, they could never be able to make finals in the Olympics. But now they want to be admitted into applying for the Olympics as a trans woman and have the same qualifications. That's allowed though. But guess what's not allowed? A natural born woman who has too much excessive amounts of testosterone in her body. She not allowed to be in the Olympic Games though. Do you see how crazy that is? Even in the Olympics and pageants and everything, male misogyny is in it. And that's really what it comes down to. Because it's all about male misogyny. People want to accuse us of being transphobic. No, we're not transphobic. You're male misogynist. Because that's exactly what it is. And I don't even want to say male misogynist because that's not the correct term. So I apologize. It's misogyny, period. If you want to call it trans misogyny, it's trans misogyny. If that is even a thing, it is. Because not only do you want your own space, you want to take up other people's spaces as well. I have a friend who's a doctor. She is a doctor. Went to the highest level of education that you could possibly go to and achieved it and graduated. She had one trans doctor that she worked with. And that trans doctor requested that all women be referred to as cisgender or cis women. My friend said no. Do you know that HR tried to accuse her of being transphobic? Because she didn't want to be labeled as cis. Her argument was, I just want to be a woman. I don't want it. I don't want the term cis. I don't want to have to fill out my paperwork every single time I clock in or every single time I do paperwork or whatever. I have to put on their cis. I don't want to put on their cis. I just want to put on their woman. They called her transphobic. Tried to give her hell at her job to where she literally ended up putting in her 2 weeks notice. Thank God now she has a consulting firm. She's doing very well for herself. But can you imagine giving up the job that you love just because you don't agree with what someone else is wanting to label you as? And then they wanted to label her as transphobic. No, I don't have a problem with you wanting to call yourself trans. I respect that. I embody that. I commend you for that. But I don't want to be called cis. It's as simple as that. Call yourself trans. That's fine with me. I just don't want to be called cis. I like woman. Is that okay? I've been called woman for decades. I would like to remain in my womanhood and just remain being called a woman. Why is that a problem? It should not be a problem. And this is what bothered me as well. Like I said, the only people who spoke out against this, the Rose person is Funky Dineva and Flame Moreau. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to play snippets of T.S. Madison because T.S. Madison ended up getting involved. She did get involved. And I hate that she was involved because for whatever reason, people always pull her into these issues. That woman is on a whole nother level. She's a trans sister who is very open about the fact that she is a trans woman who has certain genitalia up top and certain genitalia at the bottom. You read in between the lines. But she is every bit feminine, and she is every bit um a advocate for the trans community. And regardless if she wants to be a part of a certain topic or not, people are going to pull her into it because of her notoriety and who she is. So with that being said, I am going to read her comment in response to Just Hilarious. Now, actually, before I read her comment, I actually want to play what Just Hilarious said in in I guess she was enraged with what this Rose person said. And I understand that she was enraged by that, duly so. But I don't believe in the transphobia comments. And I will say that. A lot of people have not called out Jess. Jess was being transphobic with her words. And I don't like that. And I felt that there was a better and easier way to get her point across. So I'm going to actually play what Just Hilarious said, and we all can be able to listen to it.
When for us, who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that. Like, hello? For us. Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that. Like.
Okay. Now that was Just Hilarious. That is what she said in objection to this Blessing Rose on TikTok. Now, Jess was in her right to be upset because when I heard the video on TikTok, I was highly upset. But I also believe, in my opinion, that Just Hilarious is at another status, just like T.S. Madison is. And it's just certain levels that you don't stoop to. And even though what she said was socially incorrect, as far as her transphobic comments, because she definitely made transphobic comments, the comments of you want to be us, you a man, misgendering people. If the rule is, if a person wants to have the pronoun he or she or they or whatever, you have to be respectful of the pronoun that they want to call themselves. So that was transphobic. If this, regardless if I don't like anything that come out of It's Blessing Rose's mouth, I am respecting her individuality as a trans woman, and I am going to respect her and gender her as her, because that is what she is requesting to be called. So for Jess Hilarious to misgender her and then say you want to be her, you're chasing something that you'll never be. You want to be us. We have the body parts. You don't. All of these things, wrong message. I feel like it was a lot. And the thing is that when you hear something as cynical as, and I have to call it cynical because it was just straight hatred that Blessing Rose was saying, I guess you just would need to see the body language and the smirking and the little, the little quirks and things that they were doing. You could tell that they look, at one point in time, I said to myself, oh, they have to be trolling. Like, this person has to be trolling. And then when I went on their social, I was like, oh no, they not trolling. They're for real, and they really have a problem. And at this point, a lot of times people will say, oh, trans women, they hate women. This is the Blessing Rose. I really got that I hate women energy from that person. Seriously. And I've never said that about a trans woman. That woman do not like naturally born women. Period. So maybe even Jess was able to pick up on that energy. I don't know. But at the end of the day, respect is respect. So that is what Jess said. So because Jess said that, T.S. Madison made this comment. She said, there are so many real women that get mistaken for being transgender women. And that's where a lot of the anger comes from. I do hope they take a good look at how transphobia affects all women. Let me repeat that again. T.S. Madison said, there are so many real women that get mistaken for being transgender women. And that's where a lot of the anger comes from. I do hope they take a good look at how transphobia affects all women. Now, this is why my problem comes with you, Maddie. Maddie, I support you. I've been to so many of your shows. I have supported you. You made that statement as shade. And I'd rather you just own that you made that statement as shade. We all know that you made that statement as shade. That was a shady statement. You said that to get underneath Jess. You said that to imply that she is transphobic because people have accused her of looking like a trans woman. You said it as a read. And see, this is my thing. Is it really a read? Because a trans woman is supposed to be unclockable. I don't know. I come from Florida, so we different. I was raised in Florida. We're different. Trans women here are like put together. When I say put together, pristine. I'm talking about unclockable. You really cannot tell. And Maddie is a Florida girl as well. South Florida, Miami-Dade County to be exact. So you making that comment, you made the comment as a read, but you and I both know Maddie. Trans girls in Florida are different from trans girls everywhere else, because the trans girls in Florida don't look nothing like It's a Blessing Rose. No tea, no shade. They really don't. The girls in Florida look like you. The girls in Florida look like Amaya Scott. The girls in Florida look like Louis Vuitton Barbie. The girls in Florida look like Giselle Barbie. These are the girls in Florida, and I believe that over half of them are Florida girls. So there it is. But you said that as a read. So this is my thing. And this is my thing. This is my also another part, a problem that I have with trans. This is a problem I have with the trans community. Don't try to shade people with trans. And then on the other hand, you don't want people to shade you with it. Let me say that again. Don't try to shade people with being trans, liking trans, having sex with trans. And then you try to use that same thing to shade them with it. How many times have you seen trans women out men that they have a sexual relationship with? 9 times out of 10, it's not us out in the men. It's the trans girls out in the men. And my thing is, if you consider yourself to be a woman and you look like a woman and you want to be respected as a woman, why do you see it as outing this man as a sense of like hate and shade? He liked what he liked. We, from the neck up, we both look the same. Honestly, from the waist up, we both look the same because 99% of y'all have perfect breasts. You've had all the surgeries on your face and on your body. So why wouldn't he be attracted to you? Listen, we're going to talk about it all tonight. Why wouldn't he be attracted to you? So why are you outing him as a form of shade? You can't have it both ways, baby. And as much as I'm not no fan of Jess, I'm not no fan of Jess Hilarious. I'm not at all. I don't feel like she is the spokesperson for the natural born woman at all. Nope, 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 nope. I don't want her speaking for me. However, I am happy that she spoke out. I just don't like what she said. And then I don't like what TS said behind it. Because at the end of the day, you said it to be shady, but really was it shady? Because Jess is a beautiful woman. Nothing about her looks manly. The only thing about her that is masculine is her energy, because she does have masculine energy. And I think that that's just like a up north thing, like a New York, Jersey, Baltimore, Philly. Like those women are a little rougher around the edges. My apologies. Anybody in the chat or on the replay listening, you're a little rougher around the edges. Chicago, they just a little rougher. I mean, I could name several people from those areas who are, influencers or, IG models or IG famous or whatever. And they just rougher. It's something about those women from those areas. They are naturally masculine. And, it is what it is. But Jess is a beautiful woman. I just don't like what she said. So then, after all of that was said and done, Tasha K comes out and makes a comment. I'm going to play. I really don't want to play what Tasha K said. Oh, hey, DJ, how are you? Hey, Miss Kim. Kim, how are you? I really don't want to play what Tasha K said because I don't agree with what Tasha K said either. It was very, some of the things she said, to me, in my opinion, borderline transphobia. It was borderline transphobia. But she said it, so it is what it is. And a lot of what Tasha K said, actually, I have to respect her, because just like Jess, she actually spoke out about it, and she admitted that she was a part of the problem. Tasha K admitted, I am a part of the problem. Just a few weeks ago, me and Jess were in it. But as a Black woman, I'm not about to allow you to attack another Black woman for standing up for us. And I respected her for saying that much. Okay. Right now, I am in the process of pulling up Tasha K's video so you all can be able to listen to it. It's a lot. Like, these girls have been going at it nonstop. Every single day is something different. It's something new. It's more added on to it. There are so many various different bloggers, even on YouTube, that have spoken out about various things. And there's another young lady that a lot of people don't even know about. She even spoke out about it. And I'm going to actually play her video as well. Okay, so I've already played Blessing Rose video. I'm going through all the videos because it's quite a few of them. So just give me a second, everybody. Where is Tasha K's video? I have a condensed version of her video. I'm looking for the clip right now. Okay. In the meantime, I wonder if they pulled Tasha's video. They might have pulled Tasha's video because I no longer see it. I don't see Tasha's video at all. Okay. Which I've noticed that it's been very, very warped. I don't like that either. But anyways, we're going to play Maddie's video.
Placed because trans people are not. No, I did not say it. You'll block this bitch because I did not say that she was a man. Or I blocked this motherfucking hoe down here because I did not say that. You're not gonna twist and mix my words. My words. This is exactly what my motherfucking words said right here. I'm not playing with you bitches today because I can give a fuck if you hoes follow me or fuck with me or not. I can give a fuck about it. I can give a fuck about it. I don't have to fuck with you. Y'all hoes don't have to fuck with me. You bitches don't do a motherfucking thing for me. Put that fucking thing up there where I said, these were my exact words. Take my exact words. My exact words. So my exact words right here. My exact words are, anger is displaced because trans people are not. No, I did not say it. You're so many real women that get mistaken for transgender women, and that's where a lot of the anger comes from. And I hope that they take a good look at how transphobia affects all women. All women. All women. That's what I said. That's what I said. I did not say that she looks like a man or that she is a man. I did not say that. There are so many real women that get mistaken for being transgender. And here's the thing. When you say transgender and you say man, those are two different things, Pooh. See, the problem is that y'all don't want to validate trans women's existence, and you don't want us to fall up under the umbrella of women. But unfortunately, sweetheart, we do. And see, let's do this today. I've been calling y'all real women for the last couple of days, and I'm all right with it because guess what you told? So many real women that a woman. Okay, hey, real women. If I don't know your name and I'm gonna sit up having a conversation about stuff, hey, let's talk about the real women and the trans women. Y'all had a problem with that yesterday. The real women and the trans women. Y'all had a big fucking problem with that yesterday. And I'm only adhering. You don't want cis no more? Here we go, real women. So let's do this. Let's just take out cis and trans. And let's put women. How about...
Now, let me stop that real quick. Because I don't think that people really understand how I believe that this was the ploy from the beginning. I just have to be honest with you. I feel like trans women never wanted to be called trans women. They just wanted to be called women. And I get it. You grew up being in a body that you did not understand. You did not understand why you had the thoughts that you had. You didn't understand why you liked to play with Barbies instead of trucks. You didn't like to go outside and play cowboys and Indians. You would rather be inside playing in the dollhouse, in the side with Big Mama cooking cakes. I get it. But for whatever reason, you were born in the body that you were born in. But you made the choice. And see, that's another thing, because I was misconstrued on another panel with someone who is trans, and they said we didn't make the choice to be trans. I didn't say you made the choice to be trans. I said you made the choice to change your body. There's a difference. And see, that's why I try to tell people, baby, listening and comprehending is very important. Because I honestly don't feel like that is a choice. Do you know how many people I know? I mean, I've known them ever since grade school, and they always, when I think back in the back of my mind, I always knew, oh yeah, they were very feminine. Oh yeah, I can understand exactly why they have now gone on to be in the same sex marriages, that, you know, they are married to a male, or they are married to the same sex female, etc. It all makes sense to me. So I don't think that was a choice. What I think the choice was is you deciding that I am in a wrong body. I am so uncomfortable in this body that I am. I'm about to change my throat and get my Adam's apple shaved down. I am going to change my jawline. I am going to change my cheeks. I'm going to get filler in my cheeks. I am going to get a brow lift. I am going to shave down my jawline. I want to look as feminine as possible. I'm going to, get surgery, a eye lift to make myself more feminine. I am going to get breast augmentation. I am going to get breast implants. Absolutely, that is a choice. That is a choice. But guess what? Women can't choose if we want to bleed or not. We go bleed. Get into it. But I'm not telling you about your experience going to the doctor and getting these various surgeries because you feel uncomfortable in the body that you were born in. I ain't never told a trans person about their experience, or tried to tell them how to feel about their experience, or tried to tell them how not to feel and to let it go. Never done that. But constantly, trans people and gay people every once in a while will go viral and attack us. And that's what my problem is, because we don't do that to you. Just like I could never be able to tell my gay friends what it felt like to get picked on because, okay, perfect example. I have a friend to this day that has not came out to their family. They are a pastor and still has not came out to their family, and they are in their 30s because they were born and raised in the church. And they really truly believe that they are living in sin. But ever since I could remember, I always knew, when I later on found out as an adult that they were gay, they were gay. And guess what? They literally gay wash. I don't know if they would you would call it gay wash. Well, male wash their entire home. Anytime they family come and visit, everything that even remotely screams gay is removed from their home and hidden. I can't imagine what that feel like to live that type of life, to where you cannot feel comfortable in your own skin. Even in 2023, I could never be able to tell you about your experience or tell you to let that go or to tell you to turn away from that. I could never be able to tell you that. That's not my place to tell you that. You see the difference? That's the difference. And at the end of the day, I would rather trans women just say, hey, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't want to be called a trans woman, but I have to be called a trans woman because I made the choice to change certain things about my body. So what if this ultimately was the thing? I'm a trans woman, so now I have an adjective in front of woman. So now I'm going to give you an adjective in front of woman. So I'm a trans woman and you a cis woman. Since you're a natural born woman, I'm going to call you a cis woman. I'm a trans woman and you a cis woman. And now that's what we go deem ourselves as. And you better not dare not like it, because scientifically, this is what it is. And this is what you're going to accept. And if you don't accept it, then you're transphobic. Ain't that crazy? Well, guess what? That's what we experiencing as Black women. Oh, you transphobic if you don't like the term cis. It's scientific. I just don't want to be called cis. I have that choice. Just like you had the choice to alter your body. And I respect you for making that choice and altering your body. I want you to respect me in making that choice, that I just don't want to be called cis. I just don't. I don't want to be called cis. So after all of this was said and done, just hilarious was called transphobic, which I knew that she was going to be. But this was my thing. What is it called when you make comments like this? Hold on.
Hey, real woman. If I don't know your name and I'm sitting up talking, having a conversation about stuff, hey, let's talk about the real women and the trans women. Y'all had a problem with that yesterday. Y'all had a problem with that yesterday. The real women and the trans women. Y'all had a big fucking problem with that yesterday. And I'm only adhering. You don't want cis no more? Here we go, real women. So let's do this. Let's just take out cis and trans, and let's put women. How about we do that? How about we do that? How about we just remove cis and trans and just say women? Real woman. Okay. Hey, real woman. If I don't know your name and I'm sitting up talking, having a conversation about stuff, hey, let's talk about the real women and the trans women. Y'all had a problem with that yesterday. The real women and the trans women. Y'all had a big fucking problem with that yesterday. And I'm only adhering. You don't want cis no more? Here we go, real women. So let's do this. Let's just take out cis and trans, and let's put women. How about we do that?
So when comments like that are made, oh, well, how about that? As if the world was not on the topic of Carly Russell and her crazy behind faking disappearances. We was on that. We didn't even want to even come over here and even do this week because we was on Carly ass. But it's like thrown out there like we just have a problem with everything. No, everyone else has a problem. And then when we say something, we are considered to be angry. When we say something, we are aggressive. When we say something, we are labeled transphobic. I just don't agree with everything that you trying to label and say me as and call me. That should be a crime in that. It shouldn't be. And it's frustrating because every single time we say anything and we stand up for ourselves or we say anything, it's a problem. Do you know many of us are literally maybe second or third generation from slavery if you were born over here in America or even in the Caribbean? At most, you might be third or fourth generation out of slavery. Either your grandparents or your great-grandparents were slaves. In the state of Florida, do you know that they are literally whitewashing history and saying that slavery was beneficial? Let me break this down for you because I want to give you a couple of different examples, okay? That's why I'm telling people, this is bigger than just a adjective. This is bigger than just the adjective cis. It's bigger than that. It's like every single thing we speak out against and how we are offended and how we are affected, it's a problem. Even when it comes down to slavery. I guarantee you at least one person in the chat has somebody of mixed race in their family. Whether it be a grandfather or a great-grandfather or a grandmother or a great-grandmother. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, they were a product of rape. Do you understand that they are trying to rewrite the history books to say that said rape wasn't rape, it was consensual? Do you know why we have such a dissension within the Black community? I can speak for it in my own family. Can you imagine what a woman felt like, a Black woman, to be married to her Black husband and to be forced to have sex with her slave master? He forced himself on her and raped her aggressively, raped her. And then she had to go back home to her husband who had to care for her and a child that was not even his, that came out looking every bit of that white slave master. How you think that affected that family? How do you think that affected that black home? But guess what? Slavery was beneficial. And then after she had said child, then she was made to be, let's just call her a milk mother. She was made to be called a feeder. So after that slave master impregnated her, he made her nurse all of his kids he had with his white wife. You not good enough to be free. You not good enough to eat in my house. You good enough for me to rape you and lay up with, and then you good enough to raise my kids, but you're not even good enough to even come through my front door. You have to go through the back door. And dare not, black man, you raise up and get upset and get mad at master for raping your wife. Because guess what? Slave, you'll be dead and be worn either as shoes or as clothes. You better do your research. You better do your research if you did not know. If a black man in those days, in slavery days, spoke out against his wife being raped, they would kill him and skin him alive and make him into a pair of shoes or a coat or a hat with his skin. This not made up, this real. And now, how many states, because it's not just the state of Florida, it's several states that want to get rid of that history. And then they wonder why black people feel the way that we feel, especially black women. Same black women and same black men that weren't even allowed to purchase homes. You know how my grandparents were able to come over to the States? See, I don't even want to even go there. But just put it this way. They had to have the cash and had to have more than everybody else in the room in order to do it, because they weren't allowed to when they came over here to America. And then when they did, constantly they were questioned and attacked, and crosses were burned on their property and everything else. But we are told that slavery was beneficial. Oh, okay. But the trans community don't understand why we upset. Because it's bigger than you. Because there's so many other issues that black women are going through. And then all of a sudden, it's always that one, because it's not all, it's always that one trans person. They have to, oh, I want to go viral today. Let me say some real ignorant shit so I can go viral today and start some ruckus. And you all, as a community, the ones we get along with, the ones that we are allies with, don't come and speak up for us. Instead, you get upset at us for speaking out, for being offended and being disrespected. That's a problem to us. Don't you understand that? That is a problem to us. That's an issue. Black men don't go through that. Trans men do not do that to men. They don't. But the misogyny is always there when it comes to us. And we are tired. many other issues that we trying to fight for and fight. Perfect example. This is Fibroid Awareness Month, and here go this motherfucking bitch. Excuse me for my language. It's Blessing Rose telling me how I'm not the motherfucking gatekeeper for bleeding and damn womanhood. I don't even like calling women out of their name, but that was some ignorant shit that bitch said. Like, how dare you even fix your mouth to even say that? Because guess what? I'm not telling you how you should or should not feel about your breast that you've gotten, your breast implants. I'm not telling you about your experience, about what you went through transitioning into a woman. I'm not doing that because I don't know nothing about that experience. How dare I tell you about that experience? I don't know nothing about that. That's not my place to tell you anything about that. So why are you doing that to us? And then what infuriates me is this. It's all of these damn people. Angelica Ross. What's the other girl name? She my girl. Oh my goodness, I like her. She my girl from the Orange is the New Black. Somebody in the comment section, if you could put her name up. She's on Orange. She was on Orange is the New Black. Oh, I loved her on Orange is the New Black. Even her. No one came to women's defense and said, Blessing Rose, stay off of that. Don't go there. Don't say that. That's disrespectful. No, it's all of these people agreeing. As if we don't know about human anatomy. At the end of the day, a trans woman can never, ever, ever tell us about our experience being a woman who menstruates. You cannot tell us about that experience. Now, can a trans man? Absolutely. So don't play on words over here, Miss Blessing Rose. Because I knew exactly what you was going for and what you was trying to do. And it was disrespectful and it was disgusting. You was playing on words. So after all of that was said and done, then T.S. Madison gets into it. And I wish I could be able to pull up the video of Tasha K, but I honestly think that her clips might have been pulled down because even she went on the deep end. I said, well, damn, everybody cussing everybody out. Just videos getting pulled down, Tasha videos getting pulled down, but this what get me. T.S., and she's someone that I like. She is someone that I actually am extremely proud of and I support. She did all this fussing and cussing. Her stuff didn't get pulled down. Instead, she got a whole damn article in Rolling Stone. Ain't that about a bitch? Kudos to you, T.S. But what about the women who actually said something about how they felt about the situation and they were attacked? So let me tell you about another woman that I've been listening to. Loved what she said. Listen to this.
While everyone is in an uproar about who can bleed and who can't, men have become so obsessed with women that they want to turn into one. And I find it quite flattering that womanhood seems so great to you guys. Y'all know me. You may not like what I got to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. In recent conversation, there's been a lot of uproar between trans women and real women. In my opinion, I think the most misogynistic thing that a man can do is reject his biology as a man and go into women-dominated spaces telling other women how he's a better woman than them because it's based off of his feelings of how he perceives a woman to be while walking in society emulating what he believes a woman looks like by replicating other women. When we're discussing womanhood, I cannot go to another woman and ask her what it feels like to be a woman because being a woman is not a feeling. However, being a woman, I absolutely am subjected to my reproductive organs that identify me as a woman. And saying that doesn't mean that I'm less than a woman. It just means that that is the beginning of my woman origin and my woman experience. And for the women who can't have a baby, we still recognize those women as women because they do have the reproductive organs preference to do so. However, we also understand that something is medically wrong with them. I will give credence to the fact that women are not the only people who have a period if we're identifying them that way, because non-binary people or trans men actually can also have a period, but at the basis of it, we call those biological women. However, when you're talking about trans women, we understand that that is something that biologically impossible you cannot do. The power struggle here that comes into play is when there is a very small minority of people imposing onto a larger group of people that are telling them what they would like to be called, how they would like to be treated, how they would like to be pronounced, and how they would like to be identified. But then you're imposing terminology onto them that they have yet to accept. So I must appease your feelings, calling you by the pronouns that you identify with as, because you have chosen to make this decision about putting on a wig and putting on nails and putting on a dress. However, when I tell you I reject terms like birthing person or breastfeeder or real woman or biological woman or cisgender woman, at this point, then I should just understand and accept it because science says so. But science also says that the basis of your DNA, you are biologically a male. So why are we not listening to science all the way across the board? Seems a little hypocritical to me. And since everyone has such an issue with understanding just hilarious, let me go ahead and put my cape on because I think I can break it down for you a little bit more. It's very disingenuous for you to overshadow that woman's feelings in regards to her womanhood when she actually has given birth to a baby, which biologically that does make her a woman. However, you decided to discuss her looks and says that she looks like a trans person while you're also attempting to advocate for trans people. It's giving inherent transphobia. Also, to resurface the interview where she's relaying her experience of a man DMing her thinking that she was a trans woman to have sex with her probably offended her because she's an actual woman, and it should be more of a slight to trans people considering the fact that that person has a fetish. It just wanted to sexualize you and use you as an inanimate object. As a Black woman, we have to be extremely mindful of how we attach ourselves to other intersectional groups when it comes to their issues, because we're always the first to remind people nobody respects us and nobody protects us, but we're the first to jump into the line of fire when other people need a defense. So here's a few things to remember when you're talking allyship. They're always present when it's time to give the tea or bash heterosexual men and amplify any bad experience that we've had in regards to our relationship issues. But anytime it's time to help these children and provide for them or be a better role model or even your protection, they are nowhere to be found. Not saying that there's an agenda, but I will say for a very small group of people who seem to not have any effect on anybody, their issues come up in conversation, they're making a huge ruckus, and their representation comes at the basis of overshadowing other marginalized people. While everyone is in an uproar about who can bleed and who...
This sister is everything. Her name is Paradise Paris. And she went viral because so many people were making comments on what is the issue? Why is it Black women that have so much to say? What is the issue? What is the issue? Well, she explained what the issue is very eloquently. And it's so funny that people still did not understand that what T.S. said and did in her own commentary was transphobia. So T.S. didn't win nothing. She was being transphobic with that comment when she made the statement saying that Jess was upset. Hold on, I don't want to misquote her. I do not want to misquote her. T.S. tweeted, there are so many real women that get mistaken for being transgender women, and that's where a lot of anger comes from. I do hope they take a good look at how transphobia affects all women. That comment was made to be a read. Let's call a thing a thing. It was made to be a read. And if you are an advocate for trans people, you don't make comments like that because you were trying to imply that this woman did not look like a natural born woman. And you also were making fun of the fact that she was open enough on another interview and podcast and spoke about how she was even affected by someone mistaking her to be trans. Now, did I agree with what Jess said in that interview? Absolutely not, because she kept saying, yeah, I was offended. They said that I was a man. No, ma'am. A man and a trans woman are two totally different entities. Again, what Jess said was very much transphobic, and what TS said was very much transphobic. Let's call a thing a thing. So no, TS didn't win anything. She didn't win anything. Again, I'm going to play what Paradise Paris said again from the beginning.
About who can bleed and who can't, men have become so obsessed with women that they want to turn into one. And I find it quite flattering that womanhood seems so great to you guys. Y'all know me, you may not like what I gotta say, but I'm gonna say it anyways. In recent conversation, there's been a lot of uproar between trans women and real women. In my opinion, I think the most misogynistic thing that a man can do is reject his biology as a man and go into women-dominated spaces telling other women how he's a better woman than them because it's based off of his fit.
Now, I have to be honest. I have an issue with her saying that. I have an issue with her making the statement and misgendering trans women as men. She just said it. Now, she was trying to make a point when she said it, and she will get to that, because her thing was is if you are not respecting what adjectives and pronouns that I am requesting for myself, I'm not going to respect the adjective and pronouns that you're requesting for you. So that is the reason why she went from trans women to men. I had to make that statement.
Looks like by replicating other women. When we're discussing womanhood, I cannot go to another woman and ask her what it feels like to be a woman, because being a woman is not a feeling. However, being a woman, I absolutely am subjected to my reproductive organs that identify me as a woman. And saying that doesn't mean that I'm less than a woman. It just means that that is the beginning of my woman origin and my woman experience. And for the women who can't have a baby, we still recognize those women as women because they do have the reproductive organs to do so. However, we also understand that something is medically wrong with them. I will give credence to the fact that women are not the only people who have a period if we're identifying them that way, because non-binary people or trans men actually can also have a period, but at the basis of it, we call those biological women. However, when you're talking about trans women, we understand that that is something that biologically impossible you cannot do. The power struggle here that comes into play is when there is a very small minority of people imposing onto a larger group of people that are telling them what they would like to be called, how they would like to be treated, how they would like to be pronounced, and how they would like to be identified. But then you're imposing terminology onto them that they have yet to accept. So
Okay, Tammy, I see that you're in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. You said that trans women are men. Trans women are women that were biologically born as male, but they do not take on the pronoun as he. They take on the pronoun as she. So they want to be labeled as women or trans women. I want to make sure that I made that clear.
Appease your feelings, calling you by the pronouns that you identify with as, because you have chose to make this decision about putting on a wig and putting on nails and putting on a dress. However, when I tell you,
and again, I don't agree with that. I understand where Miss Paradise was coming from with the vitriol, because she upset, and rightfully so, because we have been being attacked for years. I mean, somebody even made this statement. I can't remember who it was, but I was so happy that they brought that up, because I'm just like, people don't even understand what we go through. What's his name? Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year a few years back, all because she decided to come out 60 something, 70 something years old and get surgery to change who she was. And then all of a sudden she become woman of the year, and all of these women athletes who were so accomplished and had done so many amazing things that year were overshadowed by a person who's on a reality show who decides to come out as trans at 70 years old. Oh, okay. Let's keep going with what Miss Paradise said. But I don't agree with being trans is just putting on a dress and having nails and putting on makeup. No. I don't agree with that. I do not like that she said that. I want to make that clear.
While everyone is in an uproar about, we still recognize those women as women because they do have the reproductive organs to do so. However, we also understand that something is medically wrong with them. I will give credence to the fact that women are not the only people who have a period if we're identifying them that way, because non-binary people or trans men actually can also have a period, but at the basis of it, we call those biological women. However, when you're talking about trans women, we understand that that is something that biologically impossible you cannot do. The power struggle here that comes into play is when there is a very small minority of people imposing onto a larger group of people that are telling them what they would like to be called, how they would like to be treated, how they would like to be pronounced, and how they would like to be identified. But then you're imposing terminology onto them that they have yet to accept. So I must appease your feelings calling you by the pronouns that you identify with as, because you have chose to make this decision about putting on a wig and putting on nails and putting on a dress. However, when I tell you I reject terms like birthing person or breastfeeder or real woman or biological woman or cisgender woman, at this point, then I should just understand and accept it because science says so. But science also says that the basis of your DNA, you are biologically a male. So why are we not listening to science all the way across the board? Seems a little hypocritical to me. And since everyone has such an issue with...
And I completely agree with what she said. And that's exactly what my point was earlier on the live. When I said you cannot take on one portion and agree with that and then do something different. You can't do that in life. Like, that's not fair. You're not allowed to be transphobic on one end and then get upset at me because I don't want to accept it, because I don't want to accept what it is that you are trying to label me as. So because I don't agree with what you're labeling me as, then you decide to call me something of a form of phobia. I don't like that. I don't like that, and I'm never going to agree with that.
Understand it just hilarious. Let me go ahead and put my cape on because I think I can break it down for you a little bit more. It's very disingenuous for you to overshadow that woman's feelings in regards to her womanhood when she actually has given birth to a baby, which biologically that does make her a woman. However, you decided to discuss her looks and says that she looks like a trans person while you're also attempting to advocate for trans people. It's giving inherent transphobia. Also, to resurface the interview where she's relaying her experience of a man DMing her thinking that she was a trans woman to have sex with her probably offended her because she's an actual woman and should be more of a slight to trans people, considering the fact that that person has a fetish and just wanted to sexualize you and use you as an inanimate object. As a Black woman, we have to be extremely mindful of how we attach ourselves to other intersectional groups when it comes to their issues, because we're always the first to remind people nobody respects us and nobody protects us, but we're the first to jump into the line of fire when other people need a defense.
And that is so true. Nobody protects us, nobody respects us, but we are the first ones to jump in the line of fire when other people need a defense. That is so true. Because guess what? When the kids at school were putting dog food in front of my locker, just like they did Chauncey's, Chauncey not one time was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, friend." Not one time. "Oh, I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry that you have to go through this too. Thank you so much for standing up for me." And that is where my issues come in at. Because so many times we speak up for what is right in other people's injustices. But when it comes to us, our injustices and our feelings, and none of that is validated. Ever. We are told to let it go. We are told to let it go, and it's not important.
To ship your car while everyone is to the line of fire when other people need a defense. So here's a few things to remember when you're talking allyship. They're always present when it's time to give the tea or bash heterosexual men and amplify any bad experience that we've had in regards to our relationship issues. But anytime it's time to help these children and provide for them or be a better role model or even your protection, they are nowhere to be found. Not saying that there is an agenda, but I will say for a very small group of people who seem to not have any effect on anybody, their issues come up in conversation. They're making a huge ruckus, and their representation comes at the basis of overshadowing other marginalized people. While everyone is in an uproar.
Listen, Paradise Paris. Thank you. 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 I don't think that there was any better way to say exactly what a lot of women have been saying for years and trying to say. We just tired of constantly being brought up. Do you know how many trans women went on TikTok making commentary? Matter of fact, let me pull this. Hold on, let me pull this person up. I can actually pull this video up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to actually pull her up. Because she let's see. Okay. Here we go. Bingo. Okay, here we go. I am going to be screen sharing. Now, Blessing Rose actually made a video as a rebuttal to what Miss Paradise Paris said. So I am going to be sharing my screen. And we are going to be sharing the screen so you can be able to see this. And you'll actually be able to see who Paradise Rose is. Here we go. I'm about to share the screen right now. If you can see the screen, put a 1 in the chat. Here we go.
Quite flattered.
There's just a lot in that video, and like at the end of the day, like this creator
Have become so obsessed with women that they want to turn into one, and I find it quite flattering.
there's just a lot in that video, and like at the end of the day, like this creator agrees with Just Hilarious, and they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to have their own identity or a definition of what womanhood is, and if they think it begins with being able to produce a child, that's their prerogative. My championship, or my reason for champion for the underdog, or for people that don't have periods or don't have uteruses, because I think it's just very counterintuitive or even just arbitrary to refer to yourself as a baby making machine. So like that's my basic function. I think it's a function of life. I don't think that should determine your womanhood or manhood. There's so much transphobia in this video. Like, men wanted to become a woman, or they're so obsessed with women they became a woman so they can go into their spaces and infiltrate. That's just so problematic. I just feel like people don't understand my message and they're using this to create even more divide between trans women and real women. Hello.
Men have become so obsessed with women that they want to turn into one, and I find it quite flattering.
There's just a lot.
Now, do you see how conveniently he just snuck that in there? Now all of a sudden, she's transphobic. When she clearly made the statement and said, basically, in so many words, since you don't want to agree with what I am requesting to be my pronouns and how I feel, and how you are not being respectful of that, and you want to go strictly on science, let's go on science. That is the reason why she made the term man. But you see how convenient that was for him to flip that around, and now all of a sudden she transphobic. No, she's not transphobic. She was making a point, a very, very great point. But somehow I knew that people like you, Miss Blessing Rose, love to nitpick and take pieces out. So I'm going to go to another one of her videos so that you can be able to see exactly what I mean by how cynical this person is.
She acknowledged them and said that, that they have these capabilities, but then in the same breath, she was like, I don't like the term birthing person, or, you know what I mean? And it's like that term was not created for cis women. It was created for the other marginalized community in mind. So just because you are a cis woman and you identify with the term mother, that's for you to identify with. If a trans man wants to identify as a birthing person, they're allowed to do that. And she literally said that that needs to be rejected. I just think like having your baseline as like being able to reproduce, and like that's like the start of determining your womanhood or manhood, is just so arbitrary. It's so barbaric. And I think with 8 billion people on this planet and the resources not being shared properly, we need to figure out a better way to gauge what womanhood and manhood is outside of the white het cis lens that it was created under. Hello. She acknowledged them and
Do
said
you
that, that
hear how
they have these
problematic
capabilities,
this
but then in the same.
individual is? Again, nitpicking and taking little pieces of what other people are saying, and then saying that everything that her entire video was about reproduction and women being birthing centers. What? That is not what she said. She literally made a comment in regards to Just Hilarious and said that yes, she can speak on these things because she has actually had a child. She is a mother. Here we go again. I just want you all to hear how problematic this person is.
Here's the thing. Cis people don't want to be called cis because they feel like they're the natural selection, right? Like they're the ones on the throne, so they don't feel the need to have an adjective on their name, on their pronoun, on their identity, right? But they want trans people to have an adjective because we're not the natural, we're not the blueprint, and that's problematic. So if cis people were like, you know what, let's just get rid of cis and trans, cool, we can do that. But until you want to keep us locked in the shackles of an adjective that, I mean, not that most of us care, then we're going to keep you shackled because it's just about being respectful and it's about being fair. Cis and trans, they're both adjectives. And no one is better than anyone that they don't deserve to have one if we're going to still use one for another person. Hello. Here's the thing.
Do you hear this bullshit? Exactly my point. Didn't I say that ultimately trans trans oh, I'm shaking because for a while I was for whatever reason I couldn't be able to pull up this person's videos, and I'm so happy that I'm able to pull them up so we can be able to break them down and watch them one by one. Do you hear this woman, this trans woman say, oh, well, because I have an adjective in front of my name, I'm going to put an adjective in front of your name. And because I'm in shackles, you have to be in shackles too. We both on the same playing field. Do you hear this? And no one is speaking out about it. No one is speaking out about it. Let me play this again.
Cis people don't want to be called cis because they feel like they're the natural selection, right? Like they're the ones on the throne, so they don't feel the need to have an adjective on their name, on their pronoun, on their identity, right? But they want trans people to have an adjective because we're not the natural, we're not the blueprint, and that's problematic. So if cis people were like, you know what, let's just get rid of cis and trans, cool, we can do that. But until you want to keep us locked in the shackles of an adjective that, I mean, not that most of us care, then we're going to keep you shackled because it's just about being respectful and it's about being fair. Cis and trans, they're both adjectives. And no one is better than anyone that they don't deserve to have one if we're going to still use one for another person. Hello.
If I'm wrong, please put a 1 in the chat. If you all can understand how problematic this individual is, please put a 2 in the chat. 1, if I'm wrong. 2, if you could completely understand my point and where I'm coming from. This is problematic. Okay, so you say that I'm wrong. Okay, Serene, so you're saying that I'm wrong. Please explain. Here's the link. Oh, okay. Well, either way it goes, I would love for you to come up and talk about this. This is an open forum. This is a safe space. I want all of us to be able to openly talk about this issue because it's something that's really been bothering me. Here you go. I'm going to drop the link. Please, everyone is welcome to come up and converse about this. Like, I could not believe, and this is the thing. There are so many people that have way bigger platforms than this. I mean, my platform is very small. TS didn't talk about this. Funky Daniva didn't talk about this. Al Reynolds didn't talk about this. Instead, they were trying to make women feel as if we were wrong by objecting to this way of thinking. And it was because I had done my research and I knew how ignorant Miss Blessing Rose was. And if you notice, I have still not misgendered her because out of respect, I'm not going to do that. But guess what? She don't give a damn that I don't want to be called cisgender. She don't give a damn that I don't want to be called cis woman. She don't care. You see where the difference is and where the misogyny comes in? This trans woman literally just said, because I'm stuck with the adjective, you stuck with an adjective too, and you just gonna have to deal with it. But then she contradicts herself and says, oh, well, half of us really don't care. Well, if you really don't care, what's the problem? What's the problem with you being called trans? If you really don't have a problem, what is the problem with you being called trans woman and me being called a woman? What's the problem? It makes no sense. I'm gonna play it one more time for the people coming in so you all can be able to hear this ignorant bullshit.
Here's the thing. Cis people don't want to be called cis because they feel like they're the natural selection, right? Like they're the ones on the throne, so they don't feel the need to have an adjective on their name, on their pronoun, on their identity, right? But they want trans people to have an adjective because we're not the natural, we're not the blueprint, and that's problematic. So if cis people were like, you know what, let's just get rid of cis and trans, cool, we can do that. But until you want to keep us locked in the shackles of an adjective that, I mean, not that most of us care, then we're going to keep you shackled because it's just about being respectful and it's about being fair. Cis and trans, they're both adjectives. And no one is better than anyone that they don't deserve to have one if we're going to still use one for another person. Hello. Here's the thing. Cis people don't want to be called cis because they feel like they're the natural selection, right? Like they're the ones on the throne, so they don't feel the need to have an adjective on their name, on their pronoun, on their identity, right? But they want trans people to have an adjective because we're not the natural, we're not the blueprint, and that's problematic. So if cis people were like, you know what, let's just get rid of cis and trans, cool, we can do that. But until you want to keep us locked in the shackles of an adjective that, I mean, not that most of us care, then we're going to keep you shackled because it's just about being respectful and it's about being fair. Cis and trans, they're both adjectives. And no one is better than anyone that they don't deserve to have one if we're going to still use one for another person. Hello.
Do you hear this? Do you hear this? This is the person that went viral. The whole video of the trans woman making the comments about women not owning periods and womanhood. It's this motherfucker right here. Oh, it gets worse because we're going to play some other videos as well. That's why I said I'm so happy. It was like the heavens just said, ah, we're going to open everything up so you all, so that we can be able to go over this, because I was very upset that I wasn't able to pull up the videos.
Here's the thing, beloved. School was designed to create a group of people that don't think consciously, that don't think critically, that don't think spiritually, that are just little worker bees that continue to work our asses off and produce for the rich. That's what school is designed for. It's not designed to make you smart. So it's not going to give you the true history of the world. It's not going to give you the true history of who you are and what you are. It's not going to give you any of that. It's going to make you a worker bee. Now, in terms of this, debate we're having, cis and trans, they're both just adjectives. When cis just means that, and the doctors looked at your vagina and or whatever part you had and said that, okay, you're a woman, okay, you're a man, you feel okay with that. That's what cis means. Trans means you didn't feel okay with that. And to be honest, it's weird that people look at people's body parts and determine who you are. That's patriarchy. That is patriarchy under the lens of a white man. Hello. Here's a
Do you hear this? Do you hear this? Oh, sis just says that you just have a vagina. Not everything else that comes forward when we're talking about birthing nations. A vagina births nations. A vagina births presidents, kings, queens. Put some respect on it. Okay? Do you see and hear what is coming out of this individual's mouth? And this is the problem that I had when it came to people like TS, who I respect and adore so much, because she did not one time go to this person page and see how problematic they are. Exactly. It's science. It's not patriarchy. Exactly. So on one end, you want to, and that's my issue with so many trans women. And it's not even the trans men. It's trans women. That is my issue with so many. Because on one end, they want to be scientific. So if you want to be scientifically, you are a male. But I'm being disrespectful if I say that. If I say that, I am misgendering you. Because physically, emotionally, you are a woman. Let me play this again. Let me bring this back again so you can hear this again. Instead, they defended this mofo, talking about, she was speaking scientifically. No, this person is problematic. And just like they pulling everybody else's videos, they need to pull this person videos too.
Make you smart. So it's not going to give you the true history of the world. It's not going to give you the true history of who you are and what you are. It's not going to give you any of that. It's going to make you a worker bee. Now, in terms of this, debate we're having, cis and trans, they're both just adjectives. When cis just means that, and the doctors looked at your vagina and or whatever part you had and said that, okay, you're a woman, okay, you're a man, you feel okay with that. That's what cis means. Trans means you didn't feel okay with that. And to be honest, it's weird that people look at people's body parts and determine who you are. That's patriarchy. That is patriarchy under the lens of a white man. Hello. Here's the thing, beloved.
And then this is what gets me. People were making comments saying, well, he was being general. Oh, sorry, not he, she. My apologies, she. And the reason why it was an accident because this trans woman is not, in the makeup and the long hair, etc. So I apologize. It literally was a Freudian slip. It was a slip. I did not mean to misgender this person. I do not want to be labeled transphobic. Okay, it literally was a slip. Okay, it was an accident. What I'm saying is this: you cannot pick and choose when you want something to be science. Oh, it gets worse. We're gonna keep playing.
We already let you identify as a woman. You see what I'm saying? This is why I say cis women don't own and gatekeep womanhood. You can't let someone identify. Like, what are you gonna do? Come to my house and make me wear quote unquote men's clothing? Like, the actual audacity for cis women to believe that y'all own womanhood. Like, that's crazy to me. You can't go to everyone's house and say, well, you're a woman? I'm gonna allow you to be a woman. I'm gonna allow you to be a woman. That's also just weird. It's very.
And this is why I have a problem. Because who said that we owned womanhood? Who said that we were gatekeeping womanhood? No one said that. You are trying to imply that in generalize this into something that is not. And that's the disgusting part of it. That's the disgusting part of it. And I wish that there was some term for what this is, because there definitely is a phobia against Black women. Absolutely. There's a phobia against women. There is a major phobia against Black women here. But no one speaks out about this because no one said it's not okay for you to identify as a woman. It's evident that you identify as a woman. But don't be mad at us because you are trans and we are not. That's not our problem. Be mad at science, in your words, not ours. Let's continue.
Very like dictatorship. It's very just egotistical. Hello? And like this is what's divisive. Language like this, saying shit like this, talking about real women, talking about natural born women, talking about biological women. Those are terms that are divisive. Me calling it out and saying you don't own womanhood, that's not divisive. That's me calling a spade and speaking the fucking truth. You can't allow me to do something that I am. Who are you? Hello? We already let you identify as a woman. You see what I'm saying? This is why.
Hold on. We're gonna keep, and yes, I do know that they have a GoFundMe to help with their transition, and they are getting the traction that
So you don't want to be called sis. So you don't want to be called sis. People, y'all get upset when people call you trans. Like, what you want? What you want to be called? You know, like that just doesn't make any sense. Like cis just means not trans. So it's like I don't get it. Like if you don't want people to, you get some people mistake you as trans. Just hilarious being a prime example of that. But then you don't want to be called cis. So if you don't want to be called cis, you want cis to be taken away. Let's take away trans too. Sounds like a good idea. Hello.
You see what I'm saying? Just because you have not gone through your transition, and just because when people look at you, because I just did it just now, I just misgendered Miss Blessing Rose on accident, because physically, when I am looking at her right now, she is not made up. She does not have long hair. Her face is very masculine looking, etc. She does not look like the girls of the girls of the girls that I am accustomed to in Florida. She does have a masculine look to her, so I accidentally misgendered her. So what you call that? Now you just tried to clown on Jess for being misgendered as being trans. Well, I just misgendered you as being a man. So what do we call that? Because it definitely was an accident, because I said it. You see what I mean? This mofo is seriously, something psychological is off with them. You are upset because you are labeled as trans. Just say that. Just say that. Just say that. Just say that. I would rather you say that, because at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is you really want to get rid of trans. Period. You just want to be labeled as a woman. You don't want anyone to know that you were born a male. And I get that. But that's not my problem. You need to take that up with the good Lord and the good science, okay? That's who you need to take up that problem with, because it's evident that you have a problem with that. And I get it, because I get you being upset, but I'll never be able to take away your experience and what it feels like for you to not have transitioned yet, but what it feels like for you not to have the body, the look, the style, the grace, the femininity. I don't know what that feel like, and I will never take away that experience of your transhood. I would never do that to another individual. So why are you trying to take that away from women? That's why I don't understand. Let's keep going, because I really want y'all to see how ignorant this person is that went by. This is the person who started all of the chaos. It was them. It was them.
You cannot impose on women what womanhood is and tell them when you're cis and then take womanhood from them. And so you tell them, oh, you're a cis woman, and most biological women do not like that term. They hate that term. And you go, oh, well, you're a cis. And so if they're cis, you put that label on them. How do you then take the label trans off you and try to adopt womanhood? That's what's pissing people off. And none of that has anything to do with race. Those are two completely different things. That's wrong.
When I tell you, this video really highlighted to me the disconnect between cis people and trans people. Because in Samson's mind, and a majority of cis people's mind, they think we gave them cis, right? And we're giving them cis and we're taking trans away. So we're giving them cis and making the cis people the others, and we're gonna just be man or woman.
No,
So
no,
it's
no,
an
no, no, no,
effective
no, no,
takeover
no.
in their
Stop
mind.
it. Stop it.
And
Stop
that's
it.
so
I have
crazy
to stop it. I have to
because the
stop
only
it.
reason,
Because you talking shit right now. You talking shit. You talking shit. You talking shit. That is not what he said. He made it very clear what he said. He said he said exactly what I said. They don't want trans, period. Trans women don't want the adjective trans, period. And because of that, the adjective cis was put into play. And they knew it was going to cause a problem and an uproar. So now they get what they want, which is no adjective at all. But scientifically, because we got to go to science, baby. We have to go to science. Scientifically, you're trans. Scientifically, you're trans. And just to put a little umph on it, let me give you the definition of what a woman is. A woman is an adult female human. Adult female human. Okay. Let's look up what female is. Female means of or denoting the sex that can bear offspring or produce eggs, distinguished biologically by the production of male. That's why they're mad. Let's just call a thing a thing. That's why they are mad. Because even when you talk about it scientifically, since you want to go to science, let's go to science. Because I said to myself, okay, well, if you want to be called a woman and I want to be called a woman and you want to do away with cis and trans, okay. But scientifically, I can't call you no woman. According to what Webster said, scientifically, I cannot just call you a woman. I can call myself a woman. I can call many of the women in the chat a woman. But scientifically, I'm not allowed to just call you no woman. Scientifically, I have to call you a trans woman. Let's break that down. Trans woman definition: a person who was registered as male at birth but who lives and identifies as a woman, a transgender woman. Since you want to go to science, let's go to science. Scientifically, I cannot call you a woman. I can only call you a trans woman. Definition of trans woman: a person who was registered as a male at birth, but who lives and identifies as a woman, a transgender woman. So then I said, because according to Blessing Rose, she wants to have adjectives for everybody. Everybody go have an adjective. You go have one, you go have one, you go have one. If I have to be shackled with the adjective, these were her words, not mine. If I have to be shackled with the adjective of trans, you have to be shackled with the adjective of cis. Then Miss Blessing Rose said, well, at the end of the day, it's either we both have adjectives or we don't have no adjectives at all. So we'll just go for woman. Even TS Madison made the comment, everybody will just be woman across the book. So I said, okay, because I had not done the research on that term, woman. So I decided, since we all online right now, let's do the research and what the scientific definition of woman was. Woman, an adult female human being. An adult female human being. So I decided to look up what was female. Of are denoting the sex that can bear offspring or produce eggs, distinguished biologically by the production of that can be fertilized by a male. Baby, I can't call you just no woman. I have to put trans in front of it. You all right with that? Because we going by science. My sister, you okay with that? Because we going by science. Scientifically, I can't just call you no woman. I have to call you trans. Scientifically, I can just be a woman. And it pains me to say that to you. Because I know that hurts you. Because according to your words, not mine, the adjective trans is a shackle to you. And I'm sorry for your hurt. But it ain't my problem. Take that up with Webster. Take it up with science. Take it up with the Lord, baby. The doors of the Chronicles are open. Would anybody like to come forward and speak out about this? And it bothers me because it's like we don't have these issues in other communities. It's always ours. It's always ours. It's always ours. Please, please, please come up.
Nor the trans woman that she was responded to have the vernacular to act. I really can't stand when people don't know what they're talking about. Like, I follow this creator, I support this creator, and it's really interesting because you're saying that I don't have the vernacular to talk about the situation, but you don't even know the context. That video was me responding to a cis woman being transphobic to a trans man, which is why I said you don't own period, you don't own womanhood. A Republican went on my page, because the video is 2 years old, went on my page, clipped it, and had that quick little moment, put it on Twitter, and went viral, and had like 5 million views in one day. And that's how the drama started. And then someone clipped it and put it on Instagram, and that's how Jess got involved. But to say that I don't have the vernacular, or you tell me what I should have said, is problematic as fuck. And I'm just so tired of some trans women trying to tone police me. I didn't do anything wrong. I defended a trans man because they are valid. I was trying to be inclusive with language because that is valid. That was a 2-year-old video that I didn't even try to resurface, that someone else did to create drama. And now I'm the problem, and I don't have the vernacular, and I don't have the range. Get real.
You have made several videos with this vernacular, Blessing Rose, for years. You admitted it, not me. Your words, not mine. You've done this for years. You've created chaos for years. You just not getting a little bit of traction and fame that you want, because you've wanted this traction and fame. And trust me, you're very happy that your video went viral. Because again, I did my research on you, and I've been watching you ever since you did go viral, because I wanted to see where your headspace was. Okay, would she retract this statement? How does she really feel? What were some of the things that she said prior to? How does she speak now that she's had some growth? Because I knew that that video was made in 2001. 2021, my apologies. I knew that that video was made in 2021 during the pandemic. I knew that. I had already done my research on that. I want to see how your headspace was. I want to see what type of energy in you had towards women, because constantly what came out of your mouth was transphobia, 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 transphobia. And just like the other young lady said, a lot of, if there's even a word for it, just like you all have transphobia. I wish there was some type of word we had for people who have phobia against black women, who make this kind of jargon and this type of commentary about black women. I wish there was a word for it. You know, someone who hates and disregards women and womanhood. This man even reduced us down to a vagina. Oh goodness, I just did it again. I apologize. This woman, this trans woman, I can't even call her a woman. This trans woman reduced women down to just being a vagina. When even according to the dictionary, we far more than that.
It's so interesting because a Republican went on my page, got a 2-year-old video, and now this is all happening. And it's interesting because anyone that knows me know that like I really stopped posting. I wasn't posting a lot. Like I'd post a video here and there, and maybe like I'd post like maybe 5 videos in like a week, but like I hadn't been posting. At one point, my page, I was gaining like 10,000 followers a week, and that's insane for me, right? And I stopped because I didn't want to be a part of the system. I didn't want to be a part of TikTok only pushes out controversial content. I wanted to focus on my life. I wanted to focus on positivity and love. And I felt like I had done my job in trying to educate people and bring awareness and things like that. So it wasn't like I am fighting unnecessary battles. This battle was brought up because another person that I don't even know, that is the problematic Republican, wanted to create drama. And I don't think it's fair for people to blame me when I'm literally a victim in this. I was minding my business working, and here we are, viral as fuck. Hello. It's so interesting because a Republican went on my page, got a 2-year-old video, and now this is.
So now they complaining because they viral and they are gaining tens of thousands of subscribers by the week, according to them. But how many videos have you made since said video went viral? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You see just right here. You see just right here. This woman, this trans woman, has made literally dozens of videos since this video went viral. But they don't want to go viral. They don't want to go viral. They have a problem. They don't understand why this is taking place. Okay, this is a full.
So I've been like depressed lately, not because my life sucks or anything like that, just because like the state of the world is kind of chaotic. But I got dressed up. I decided to go. I'm gonna go see the new Scream movie with some friends. Just get out the house and just try to remind myself that this is all according to source's plan. Everything is happening the way it's supposed to. We're on track. So it may seem scary, it may seem chaotic, it may seem evil, but everything's happening the way it's supposed to, and we're gonna be okay. So get out the house, go hang out with friends, get some food, and just try and exist in this moment. Hello. So I've been like depressed lately.
Okay, so that's Miss Blessing Rose. That is her once she, transitions, puts on, hair, makeup, that whole thing in her femininity. Okay. So that's why I was accidentally misgendering her, because again, it is what it is. It was an accident.
This may be like a hot take, but a lot of you cis women are going to be very upset when trans people can switch body parts with other trans people and they can start carrying kids and they can start having periods. Y'all going to be mad. Hello. This may be like a hot take, but a lot of you cis women are going to be very upset when trans people can switch body parts with other trans people and they can start carrying kids and they can start having periods. Y'all going to be mad. Hello.
Do you hear how ignorant that is? Scientifically, trans men can have children. Scientifically, trans men have cycles. What are you talking about? Why would we be upset about people switching body parts? Hell, they do that already. How many I'm talking about Dorgan. Oh, goodness. How many organ transplants have there been? Thousands around the world. People are already switching body parts. Are you crazy? We having it. We mad because trans people about to have kids. Trans people already having children. Whoo! Problematic. Let's hear some more ignorance.
All right, guys. So, of course, Libs of TikTok took my video again, and I'm going viral. There's also an article done on me. It says Black transgender activists claiming that biological women don't own periods or womanhood. You can go look it up. It's hello. But it's interesting because people will take a 30-second clip of what I say and what I mean and just completely run with it, right? Imagine thinking critically about a situation and actually thinking about it, because everything is nuanced. Nothing is just white or black. Like, reality is you don't have to agree with me, but I said what I said and I stand by that. Cis women don't own womanhood. Cis men don't own periods, because you can't create like a one size fit all for womanhood and cishood and expect people to go with it. It doesn't work like that. Everyone thinks about it differently, right? Everybody has their own idea of what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man, because some women think you have to be a mother. All right, you have to have children. You have to have a uterus. And others say, no, I don't have to do any of that shit. Don't want any of that shit. I'm a woman because I say I'm a woman, because of my experiences, because of how I feel internally, because of my spirit. Okay, so this is why having a one size fit all for womanhood or manhood doesn't work, because we're not a monolith. Imagine that. It's like you you can own an Apple iPhone, but you don't own the brand Apple, right? You don't. And at the end of the day, womanhood should be personalized, because it's all about the person and what they believe and how they feel. We are literally gods. We create our own reality, right? So I think there's delusion involved, because I feel like a lot of cis women think that they allowed us to be in their space, when a lot of you bitches was clocking us and letting these men hurt us. That's another discussion. But you didn't allow us to be in your space. You don't own femininity space, right? You experience it. You can own your own version of it, but you don't own what it actually means overarching. You don't own the oversoul of womanhood and femininity. And let's be clear, it was Black trans women and Black gay men that showed you bitches what it means to present hyper feminine, right? What we consider feminine today, that was thanks to the queer community. So let's have respect for that. At the end of the day, you don't have to believe trans people are valid, right? This is a big ass planet, big ass ocean, big ass galaxy, big ass universe. You can just think that we're all meant to be the same and people are delusional. You can do what you want to do. But respect is mandatory, right? And if you don't agree with someone, scroll. That's it. Block. But at the end of the day, this isn't your space. It's a free earth. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We can believe however we want. And if we want to call our shit a period, if we want to partake in womanhood, we're gonna do that. What are you gonna do? Hello. All right, guys. So of course, Libs of TikTok took my video again, and I'm going viral. There's also an article done on me. It says Black transgender activists claiming that biological women don't own periods or womanhood.
Okay, so there we have it. Oh, womanhood is a feeling, and I do agree with that. Okay, you said womanhood isn't a feeling. I kind of don't agree with that. I kind of feel like womanhood is a feeling, but let's look up what the scientific definition of womanhood is. Because I'm a factual person over here. I don't like to just throw out stuff. So let's see what the definition of womanhood is. And oh gosh, Cherry the Bone has entered the conversation, and she just dropped a video, and we'll be listening to that in a second. Okay, womanhood, a state or condition of being a woman. The qualities considered to be natural to or characteristic of a woman. Well, actually, you are right, Miss Serene. Womanhood isn't a feeling. And the reason why womanhood isn't a feeling is because it says the state or condition of being a woman is, and as we know, the definition of a woman is to be a female. And as the definition of being a female is being a person with the genitalia to birth children or produce eggs. So you absolutely right. You absolutely right. Womanhood isn't a feeling. And to be completely honest with you, Miss Blessing Rose, if you want to be technical and scientific, we actually are the gatekeepers to womanhood. I actually wanted to kind of give you the whole womanhood thing, and say, okay, well, no, we're not the gatekeepers to womanhood. Womanhood is a feeling. In my mind, I thought womanhood was a feeling. But when we're looking at the scientific definition of what these things are, I have been proving you wrong all night long. Now let's listen to what Cherry the Boom had to say. Oh goodness, there's no telling what Cherry might say. I hope it's not too much cursing.
Motherfucking insecure. The power between trans women and cisgender women, and the power of both of us. It would show the world what a real woman is and what real womanhood is. And this is the perfect time for me to say, this is the perfect time to say this. As I was transitioning, I never gave a fuck about pronouns. Like, I remember, as I was transitioning, you run into this era, like, when you really, really give a fuck about how people identify you or how people give you your pronouns. I only started being really big on my pronouns when I realized people were misgendering me out of disrespect. Because when you are a grown man, when you are a boy, when you're a gay boy, it's like, yes, Miss Thing, yes, girl, you're so silly. But bitch, when you start to physically look like a woman and you're starting to evolve as a woman and carry yourself like a woman, move like a woman, maneuver like a woman, live like a woman, that's when those pronouns start to be she, like all that slick shit. I'm a woman. Because that type of shit never moved, because I am who I am. But when you realize people are only doing it out of spite, and when you realize people who don't know you are calling you ma'am, that's when you get into the place where you make people, bitch, I'm a woman. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers. Nobody give a fuck about no motherfucking title. I'm looking for happiness. I want stability. I want peace. I want love in my life. Nobody give a fuck about no fucking gender. Bitch, because when I walk through these streets, these men don't see my penis. And that's the only thing that makes you hoes know that I'm trans. There's a lot of women with deep voices. And there's a lot of bitches running around here with mommy old grandmamas and mamas got mustaches and beards. Let's be clear, there was an article going around today. A 59-year-old woman was killed because they thought she was trans. They think Just Hilarious is trans.
Well, that's what the boom had to say. And you know what's crazy? This whole time, in my mind, I said, well, if they want to consider themselves to be a woman and drop the trans, do what you feel. That has been everyone who knows me. Everyone who knows me in my personal life has, because I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. You know, you just get tired. I just said, well, if they want to be women, just be a woman, honey. But when you constantly want to throw up science, well, according to science, I can't call you just no woman, baby. According to science, I have to call you a trans woman. Scientifically, I have to call you a trans woman. I can't just call you a woman because you're not female. The definition of a woman is a female, and you're not a female, scientifically. Ooh, that's some deep shit right there, ain't it? Because here I am. I'm just like, okay, be who you are. If that makes you feel comfortable, if that makes you sleep easy at night, whatever. Be whatever, whoever, feel however, whatever you want to be, however you want to feel, do that. Just don't bring any of those insecurities and any of your shackles, in your words, Miss Blessing Rose, over here. So now we have a bigger issue. We scientifically cannot call trans women just women. Let's see how that go over in the morning. All right, everybody. Does anyone have anything to say? Please put it in the chat. Please put it in the chat. I think we have went over it all. Well, thank you all so much for coming on to the live. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is Mimosa Chronicles, and this is it. You all have a great evening. It's like 1:00 in the morning. And I'll be back on sometime tomorrow or the next day. Until then, au revoir. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to reach my threshold, everyone. So please share this video. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.